Hello, you're welcome to Discuss with Ibrahim Fatoimbo. On this episode, with Discuss with Ibrahim Fatoimbo, we will be discussing advertising and public relation research. Advertising and public relation research. This particular segment or episode is exclusively for communication students and those who aspire to understand how to go about research in advertising and public relations. Like one of my introductory video that I did for research, I emphasized the need for research, and we've defined research as a systematic way of gathering information, analyzing and interpreting the data gathered, right? So in advertising and in public relations, research is very expedient and is something that we can't do without. As a communication scholars in advertising, in public relations, there is a need for research, and that is why this particular segment for we discuss with Ibrahim Fatoimbo is emphasizing on this topic. So, what do you understand? Let's so we will dissect and compartmentalize this class into different segments. I will demystify the role of research in public relations. We'll discuss what public relations is all about, the importance of public relations, steps to carry out research in public relations before we get to advertising. Now, what do you understand by public relations? I personally define public relation as the process of establishing mutual relationship between an organization and its publics. And the public or public relations are always divided into two. We have the internal publics and we have the external publics. So, public relation, according to some scholars, says that public relation is a strategized process of managing the release and spread of organization related information to the public to maintain a favorable reputation of the organization and its brand. A two-way exchange of information between a company and its internal and external public is known as public relation. There is a need to always get in touch with both your internal and external publics for the essence of doing what? Establishing a mutual relationship, building a reputation, acceptable reputation in the mind of both your internal and external publics. That shows that public relation is very, very important and is very expedient. And you can never achieve or know how to build this perception or understand how your internal or external public feels about you if you don't carry out research, right? So let's talk about the importance of research in public relations. Importance of research in public relations. As we have defined public relation as a two-way exchange of information between a company and its internal and external publics. And I've established the fact that there is a need for you to carry out research before you can know how they feel about your organizational policies. And another thing is in public relations, we establish policies, we introduce policies, and we interact with the community. We serve as a nexus between the organization and the publics, either the host environment and all. Therefore, you must carry out research. Even only the scripture says that know me before you worship me. So there's a need for research so that the organization will understand what the people really want before they can prefer solution or give them or create a policy that fits into or that will be acceptable by the target publics. Now, what are the importance of research in public relations? The first one is research allows for accurate appraisal. Making an assessment of a strategy is the last step of a public relation plan. Only when they are measured and evaluated against existing studies can they be done properly. Therefore, the efficacy of the end review decreases if a baseline of research is not gathered at the start of a strategy. So, all we are saying here is that research allows accurate appraisal. If you have given out a policy out, for you to understand the effectiveness of that policy, the acceptance of such policies, you must first carry out research. That's why research allows for accurate appraisal. Appraisal is for you to be able to assess evaluate the situation. The second one is to facilitate gathering input. Additionally, research offers input on the accurate public relations strategy after it has been created and put into action. This study enables the organization to assess the extent to which each of the goals set out for the public relations strategy has been met. So here, facilitating gathering input. Alright, so additional research offers input on the actual public relations strategy. Public relation is more of strategy, and research will help them be able to create a strategy that is formidable, acceptable, and that can achieve the set goals. Another importance of research in public relations is research makes communication two-way. Research makes communication two-way rather than one-way, which is only information broadcast by gathering information from publics. By studying a public's idea and values and trying to increase their comprehension of the organization's internal operation and policies, research enables us to engage in conversation with the publics. All right, research brings about one way the publics are able to express their pleasures and displeasure towards the organization. So it is through research that you will be able to create a two-way communication process between the host community and the organization, or between the external publics and the internal publics or the management. So research will also help you to know what is their feeling, their likes, their dislike, their disgust about your policies, and how you can improve on them. Research enables us to qualify impact, demonstrate outcomes, and redirect our effort in light of that data. All right, maybe the organization is believing that we need to sponsor carnival, we need to give gifts out before we can be able to have this good perception or good reputation in the mind of our external publics. So it's through research that you gather, you realize that this thing is not effective. Let's retrace our step. Let's create a new strategy that will be able to meet with the demands and the yearnings and aspiration of the target audience, because end goal of every policy is for you to be able to satisfy your internal and external publics in public relations. In addition, we have public research lays the groundwork for a public relations strategy. So public relations science specialists may learn about the comprehension and organization, its objective and its target market via research. So you, for example, you must know the people you want to serve. You don't just start a public relation work and believe that, oh, this strategy. You might have sophisticated, wonderful, sumptuous, scintillating strategy, but if you don't identify those people those strategies are meant for, it is just a wasted effort. It's tantamount to pouring water into a basket. There won't be any result. So it is very important for you to do what, to establish that fact, for you to so research will help lay that foundation. Lastly, research enables the participation of change and market trends. Continuous research, in addition to foundational research, enables anticipation of change and market trend. And you don't do one research in 1 year and go and sleep. You must come back and see that what is the market dynamics, what has changed. So research is continuous when it comes to public relations. So research plays prominent role in public relations. Like, let me quickly summarize. Research allows for actual appraisal. Research facilitates gathering input. Research makes communication two ways. Research enables us to qualify impact, demonstrate outcome, and redirect effort in light of data gathered. Research laid the groundwork for a public relations strategy. Public relations specialists may learn about a comprehend an organization, its objective and target market via research. So it offers objective information. Research also offers objective information. Now let's discuss research processes in public relations. Research processes in public relations that you should follow. How do you go about research in public relations? How do you pay attention? How do you go about this research? The first thing when it comes to research in public relations is defining public relations problem. Defining a problem. You can't solve a problem if you can't identify a problem. So finding the biggest issue locally is the first step in the research process for public relations. The procedure includes collecting data that aids in defining and foreseeing public relation issues. The researcher uses a variety of strategies to identify the current issues. Like, you are not making sales, like I always say, you don't need to go to the mountain to sell thinking that it's a witchcraft. There are certain things that you have to carry out research to redirect. So the first thing when it comes to the process of public relation research is for you to do what? Identify the public relation problem. Identify problem. Know what is really the problem. You are not making sales. What is the problem? You must identify it. After identifying it, you are planning public relations program. The next stage is to plan a public relation program. The next step is to plan public relation program. The researcher needs to interpret the information, identify specific problem and opportunity that can be addressed by a systematic public relation program. So you come up with a program that will address the identified problem. All right. The identify program, that is the first stage. The second stage is planning public relation program that will address that problem. The third one is implementing public relation program. After you have identified, you have planned a public relation program, the next thing is implementing the public relation program. The most common type of research during implementation stage is made up of monitoring the effort of public relation program. You must monitor it, you must see the effectiveness, and that's one of the weaknesses of a lot of professionals. They just do their public relation program, they don't evaluate for them to see loopholes to improve on subsequently. The fourth one is evaluating the program. It's synonymous to what I've said. After implementing, you evaluate. So evaluation research refers to process of judging the effectiveness of program planning, implementation, and impact. What is the impact of that particular thing? So some scholars suggest that evaluation should be involved in virtually every phases of the program. Identifying problem, there should be research. Planning, there should be research. Implementing, there should be research. Evaluating, there should be research. So those are four stages that you must bear in mind when it comes to research in public relations. Let's talk about types of public relation research, and let's talk about types of public relation research. The first one is image survey. Image survey, by determining the public sentiments towards an organization, their level of understanding of it, and the things they like and hate about it. An image survey may identify the institutional profile or corporate image in the public's mind. An image survey aims to ascertain how well a business or organization is, its reputation, and what the general public thinks of its goods, services, employee, and business policies. So image survey is for you to carry out a research about the perception, the reputation of your organization. How do they perceive your policies? How do they perceive your goods? How do they perceive your services? This is what we call image survey. You go out, you find out, and it's professional that handles this. Let's get this right. When it comes to public relations, some organizations have they have a department for public relations within domiciled in their organization. But we see organization now, because of cost, they consult or they hire public relation professionals only when they are in problem, right? But most of them will just continue to run their businesses, not knowing that there is a need for them to carry out research on the reputation of the organization. So one of the types of research in public relation is image survey. Image survey, to find out what the people think, feel, what they like about their organization. The next one is motivational research. Motivational research study identify why the public has a favorable or unfavorable opinion of a business, institution, or a sector. It aims to learn what drives the public's opinions towards an organization via in-depth interview with representative sample of population. So what we are saying is that a representative sample, when you are serving a community, you pick certain people and you start interviewing them. And don't forget, that is a qualitative type of research, right? It's qualitative, right? It's not quantitative. So the interview, they ask them, why do you like buying from that person? Why do you like this brand? What are they doing differently? It's not that you go there and tell them like, we are from so person, we are from so bank. Why don't you like banking with us? You can ask, but stylishly ask that. So why don't you not like this bank? I say, well, this is it. So it is true interview. That's motivational research in public relation. Another one is trend analysis and environmental scanning. Is another types of public relation research. Another types of public relation research, trends analysis or environmental scanning. Another sort of study relevant to contemporary public relation practice is trends analysis. This form a study entails examining the economic, political, social, and cultural trends that might in some way have an impact on the organization's activity. This is due to the fact that it is crucial to regularly inform organizational manager on the current economic, political, social, cultural trends in society in order for their policies and practice to take this trend into account. So, for example, you have a very big business at Ikorodu, and you know that this community, when it comes to research, you must know that will they be able, are they willing to buy certain things from you? Let me give you a practical example. Ikorodu, for example, in Lagos State, they are always having this what we call Oro festival, right? So, and this particular time, they will tell you that you don't come out from this time to that. You know that when you have a very big company in such situation or in such community, it will affect your business. So you know that, oh, don't let me situate it here, let me take it somewhere else, regardless. So you must understand, that's what we call environmental scanning. It's part of research, looking, or we call it in business, we call it feasibility studies. Understanding, analyzing the environment, if it is healthy for you to set up that business in that vicinity. And media research monitoring is another types of public relation research. Media research monitoring. So the public relation man relies on this particular field of study. This is because it can only stay informed and conversant with rapidly evolving media landscape like the one in Nigeria. Through this kind of study, even on a global scale, the media landscape is quite dynamic and changes quickly. Media technology is always evolving. Public and media audience habits are similar. Modern public relations takes task its media budgeting. Media budgeting and media scheduling are all dependent on effective media research. What we are saying here is that when you have a good program, you must know the channel through which you want to pass. All right, so media research monitoring. That's it for that. The next one is individual public studies. Whew. This study on the individual public studies on the attitude of specific publics such as workers, stakeholders, customers, dealers, contributors, community neighbors, and opinion leaders are conducted in addition to those of the wider public. So according to ASIMA in 2010, said that individual research aimed to elicit opinion from people about their attitude towards your product, your services, and those people must be recognized as consumers of your goods and services. Let's get that clear. When we talk about individual public study, you are selecting people that are interacting with your goods and services, all right, to get their opinion, their view about your brand. And that's why for you to progress and make development, even as an individual, it's very important for you to get feedback about who you are, about what you are doing, what do you think you can improve on. So organization, and you will see that the ownership structure is always reflecting on organization. And that's why it is important to run a business that is independent of you. That is not you really have much influence over such business. My point is, in public relation research, it is important to carry out research. Research is uncontestable. is undisputable. All right. So here, individual customers are questioned to get their thoughts on the product and services they have used or consumed. What do they think about it? So they engage them, and this is individual public studies. First, we discuss the image survey as the types of research in public relations. The second one, motivational research. The third one, trends, analysis, and environmental scanning. Media research monitoring, thinking of scheduling, how you place your program, which newspaper, which media do you need to use to get to your targeted audience. We now talk about individual public studies. And another one is research of a company public relation and the public relations of other companies. Get that? Research of a company's public relation, your own, and the public relation of other companies. More than only survey of public opinion should be included in public relations research. Organized research should be used to compile all accessible data on the public relation issue and perspective of a certain firm, its industry and business in general. So you must find out how are you faring and others, what are they doing differently that you can learn from. You can be a copycat, but copy what is more productive, right? That will help your business. Business public relations. Knowledge of fundamental public relations help in a variety of public relations circumstances. So the study of underlying mechanism and the development of ideas that describe the public relation processes are of particular interest. Companies and non-profit organizations have seldom conducted fundamental human relation research to help them come up with public relation issue. So basic public relation research knowledge fundamental about that organization. The right circumstances, the study underlying mechanism and development of ideas to describe public relation processes. How do they go about it? And we have more, but let me just pick one more and we move. Strategic research. Strategic research is also a type of research in public relations. This kind of study is usually used to create benchmark or standard, design communication tactics, or decides on program goals for public relation programs. It often looks at the methods and instruments of public relations. For instance, a company would first carry out strategic research to determine its position if it wanted to know how workers felt about its candor in internal publics. So you must find out, and I always say this, because you want to satisfy your external publics does not mean you should not motivate your internal publics. If you satisfy your external publics over your internal publics, it is detrimental, because those external publics will come and be meeting unhappy internal publics that will use their sadness to destroy your business. So research in public relations is uncontestable, and it's what you should subscribe to, and definitely you must practice for you to succeed. In addition, okay, I think that's all for public relations. Let's talk about advertising. Don't forget, we're talking about advertising and public relation research. We've successfully dismantled, demystify, all right, everything about public relations, the importance and the process of research in public relations. Now, let's delve into the aspect of advertising. What do you understand by advertising? Don't forget, in my opening remarks, I said that research is indispensable to both public relations and advertising scholar, because research will help you grow, will help you identify areas to improve. So also in advertising, how do they create a compelling advert that appeals to the mind, the emotion, logic of a target audience, and they are getting return on their investment? It is through research. So research is very significant across all board, both in advertising and in public relations. Now let's choose the concept of advertising and public and research. Advertising, by its definition, according to some scholars, define advertising is any sponsored communication that is identifiable by a sponsor, targeted at a particular audience, and distributed via varieties of mass media, including radio, television, billboard, newspapers, intending to arise awareness or raises awareness about product and services. I take that again. What do you understand by advertising? Advertising, according to some scholars, define advertising as communication, any sponsored communication that is identified by a sponsor, targeted at a particular audience, and distributed via variety of mass media. Now, targeted audience. Without research, you can't identify a target audience. Without research, you can't be able to identify the media of mass com for you to place that message to reach the target audience. Can you see that everything works together? So another definition, according to Ken Chuku and Asima and Edigo in 2013, they said advertising, any sort of compensated, non-personal presentation and promotion of concepts or goods by a clearly sponsor, is known as advertising. Now that you are aware of what advertising is, let's now look at the steps, all right? The steps to be taken. The steps to be taken when it comes to advertising research. Now, let's look at the steps before talking about the importance. The first step is synonymous to the public relation. The first one is situation analysis and problem definition. The first step is what? Situation analysis and problem definition. Like a medical doctor, when you complain of headache, they don't just give you paracetamol or give you injection. They will carry out a test to specifically identify the real problem. And even if a woman goes to the medical doctor and say they are not feeling fine, they will never administer any medication on them immediately. They will carry out research on them, that is tests, and they find out. They will even conduct the pregnancy tests, for them not to just administer any drug that will cause harm to them. So that shows that they will carry out findings. So findings will help you ascertain. So research will help you ascertain, to identify. So in advertising, the first thing is what? Situation analysis and defining the problem, or problem definition. So what do you understand by that? They said the organization needs to assess the current scenario, since doing so will enable researchers to understand the issue at hand. This required the organization to start a fact-finding process in order to understand the main issue currently occurring. Some major corporations support themselves in carrying out this task by having internal research division, all right? A marketing information flow, which is a complex collection of processes to provide a constant and orderly flow of information for use in making marketing choices, is often maintained by the marketing department as well. So what we are saying here is that the marketing unit organization, there are some organizations that they have a research unit. Let me quickly share a story with you. There was a story about a particular guy that just got a job in a new company, not in Nigeria, and the human resource, the HR, started taking this young guy to different departments to familiarize the guy with the department. So they went to account department. They introduced her. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Ibrahim. Just an example. He's a new staff of this organization. They took him round. They now got to a place, open space. There was only a table and a chair there, no shelf, nothing. And they passed by that place. And this new intake was now curious. Now said, excuse me, you didn't tell me about this particular open space. Say, oh, my bad. I forgot to tell you. You saw a man seated there and putting his leg on the table. That's the think tank of this organization. He thinks on behalf of this organization. Meaning that they hired somebody that does nothing than just to be thinking about the organization, what the organization can do to be prosperous. How crazy, right? So that shows how people appreciate thinking, deep thinking. In addition to that, I'm creating nexus to what we are talking about, the process of research in advertising, saying situation analysis and problem definition, is that here they mention marketing units. Some organizations have their research units, which is also part of marketing, that all they do is to carry out research on behalf of the organization. No organization that what is salt and onions and it's pepper that we turn to food, oh, fish is there too, or meat, that will ever joke with research. Research is everything. Research is important. So the first thing is situation analysis. The second one is conducting informal research. Conducting informal research. This term, here we talk about exploratory research. It's conducting informal research. So it entails using informal research to learn more about the market, the level of competition, business environment, and to better define the problem. Researchers may discuss the problem with wholesalers, distributors, retailers outside the firm, with informal source inside the firm, with customers, or even with competitors. I have someone who works with Morphix and will always tell me that, oh, Prime, I'm going for a market visit. So they go to market, they see how their market is placed. They ask them, why are you putting so brand in front? Why are you not putting this? They are not disclosing that they are from the brand that is disserviced. All right. I'll just say, no, this one is cheap. People are asking for, why are they asking for it? It's cheap now. If you look at it, there's 20 inside this one. This one, there's 15 and it's the same price. So you'll be able to look at it. That's why you see that a lot of Nigerians, it's only few that pays attention to quality over quantity. A lot of us love quantity over quality, and that's why you will see Nigerian brand in advertising calling you to buy a longer throat bottle, hungry man size. They've defined their audience. They know how hungry you are in Nigeria, that regardless, it's hungry man size, longer throat bottle. You know what that means? But you're happy, you want to buy that one. When you see a particular brand, they say 20% increase. I say, you are not even thinking about the quality. Even when you see something, of course, this small thing, but you don't pay attention. It's quantity. How is much? That's what we focus on. Continue. So we have the first one that we said, situation analysis, problem defining. Conducting informal research is another one. Conducting informal research, like I said, exploratory, explore, go to the market, meet with wholesalers, retailers, final consumers, ask them about the brand. What's happening? Why don't they like this? What can they do to improve it? You now take note and you write those things down. The third one is researching, establishing research objective. After you've gotten conducting informal, so now you now say, okay, what do you now want to achieve based on what they have said? Based on what they have said, you will now identify what you want to achieve. Objectives stem from problems. You can't say, when you say your objective in life is to be successful, you are poor. It's from poverty that you say like, I don't want to end like this. We now form your objective to succeed in life. I'm not lying. You know what I'm saying. You are even laughing now. I'm very sure. Or you're smiling. Let me say that again. After talking about conducting informal research, we talk about establishing research objective. And listen to say, objective stems from problems. They are goals that the organization tend to achieve. So if you want to be a millionaire, you want to load, you that DLO, you want to be richer. So it is looking like, oh, this man is not okay. I need to be better. That because of the deficiency of that man, maybe your dad or anybody, will now become your own objective in life. Like, I don't want to be like that person. So also organization. It is out of problem that they have identified that they will now form the organization objective to pursue. It entails the organization setting down clear and specific research objectives. The objectives could be to fight competition, to get new customer, to win brand loyalty, and to satisfy the needs of already existing customer. You must define what you want. You must define your objective. If you don't have objective, you can't evaluate, and your objective must be smart. Read about SMART analysis. It must be S for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Everything. A lot of you generally you have set a lot of goal for this year, but you never tested it with SMART analysis to confirm if they are realistic or they can be achieved. Another one is conducting formal research. Conducting formal research. After setting objective, you will now conduct a formal research. At this stage, the researcher begins to collect data with a view to solving the problem discussed, since the essence of research is to find solution to established problem. So here you now conduct, after you start conducting your research. The fifth one is interpreting and reporting. After you've gathered all the old data, since the main purpose of research is to solve a problem, the researcher interprets and reports the data gathered. The final report must be comprehensive to the company's managers and relevant to the needs. So those are the 5 steps for you to carry out research according to Harris in 2008. Those are those steps that you must pay attention to when you want to do advertising research. The first one, situation analysis and problem definition, conducting informal research, establishing research objective, conducting formal research, interpreting and reporting, which is the 5 steps. The final for this segment is the key importance of research in contemporary advertising. The key importance. What are the importance? The first one is to determine the size of the market for a product or service in terms of volume and value. Some of you are already thinking like, why is this thing long? Well, you are watching movie for 1.5 hours and you'll be complaining for even 50 minutes, 40 minutes video. So let's talk about the key importance of research in contemporary advertising. The first one is to determine the size of the market for a product or service in terms of volume and value. So the first important is for you to understand the volume, the value, your market share, to understand what you have as an organization in that market. 2, to ascertain the past pattern of demand and determine the factor, economic, social, political. A lot of people are complaining because of the economy, the costs, the inflation in the economy. It will affect certain business. So you can't swiftly say like, it's a spiritual attack, I'm having problem. Yeah, so person. They'll start tell you to sprinkle water. How many water has Dangote sprinkled to become a billionaire? How many mountains has Dangote climbed to go and pray to become a billionaire? Let alone Otedola. So there are people that understands how business and money works, and that is why it is very important for you to pay attention to research, for you to be able to identify where the problem is emanating from, so that you can tackle it accordingly. So the next importance of research in advertising is to ascertain the past pattern, like I said, of demand and determine the economic, involving seasonal or circular. You are selling umbrella and you are not selling, you are not crying at somebody. You know that it is seasonal. There are some products that don't sell every season. And even in Bible, in Quran, there is season. In Apostle Paul, there is time and season. So when there is this particular season, there are some product that sells. When it's another season, there's another product that sells. So you must identify and realize that. That's research will help you know that this is a seasonal product. And that's why you will see that Mikano that are selling generator, they are also selling biscuits. Go and check it. They have a biscuit that they are selling. So imagine we have stable electricity. Who wants to be buying Mikano? So they must diversify. They must see other things to do. So that's why you will hear this proverb that say, Ogmoni teacher. I've forgotten to how to give that proverb. Like it's the wisdom of a teacher or a lecturer that aside lecturing is also barbing hair in class. Do you understand? So you just have to survive. So that's just on the lighter one. We are concluding already. So 3. Understand the market structure in relation to industry size, income group, sex, age, geographical distribution. So you must understand the geographical distribution. You must understand the geographical distribution. Where are you selling? What is the challenge? You can't say you want to start alcohol business in the north and you say it's going to thrive. You know it won't work. So you must understand this through research, and these are the benefit of research to advertising in a contemporary society that we find ourselves. So determine the buying habit and the target market. How do they buy? Some people are impulse. I always say that one of the major problems women are always facing is the clothes to wear in the morning, and the married one, what to cook. These are the two major issues. If you can get answers to them, women will patronize you. So here, you determine the buying habit. How do they buy? You see some adverts that, okay, they're advertising diaper and they are using a mother. Is it the mother that wants to wear it? But the mother is the factor that purchase. When they are advertising a particular butter, all right, they would, or this spread, they will use children and their mother because they know that they influence. So all these things, you must understand the buying habit, what resonates with people, what works with them. You must identify all those things to bring out the best commercial that will make that product sell. Another one is to determine the organizational market share vis-a-vis competitor. So you know the market share. I've given this example several times. We have telecommunication, which one has, if it's 100, who has 50% and who has 30%, and now that one are sharing 10%, who has the largest share. So you must identify your share, your market share in the market. You must identify your market share. Another one is to gain insight into the past future trends with respect to the rate of exchange in population, national income, and rate. So you have to understand. Even in the media, mass all those newspapers, they are not even. I just noticed that even Punch and all of they are still selling for 250 naira. 250 naira. Because if they increase it, who wants to buy? Because we have other alternative platform. How many of you listening to this video has purchased a newspaper aside giving assignment? No, but you can read the news version. So if they are so stagnant, not making research, from where can they get this audience from? They will lose sale. So in the media too, even in the media newspapers, they are also in broadcast. You see them go to their YouTube, they are promoting a lot of things just for them to make ends meet. Last but not the least is to determine which market presents the most profitable, immediate or long-term opportunity. As I conclude, I think that's that for the importance. But don't forget, for everything you want to do, you need to understand research methods. Research methods. Yes, you want to carry out this one. We've talked about the informal, formal. Research method is also important, which we have to add to this segment. Research methods are the methodology deployed to achieve or to gather data. The first one is interview method. We have the survey method, we have the content analysis, we have the textual analysis, we have the observational, we have the focus group. All right, so those are the methods of research methods. Interview, as its name implies, one-on-one. Survey, you can use questionnaire. Content analysis is when you extract video and you analyze it. You can get text too to check how many times a newspaper reported Boko Haram in Nigeria or reported increase of war in Nigeria. Another one is textual analysis, which is talking about, describing content structure, how a content is being structured. You can read up on that too. Observational, how you observe in overt, covertly. Focus group discussion, getting people together and to read and to ask them questions. Not forgetting the need for us to be able to juxtapose between the quantitative, qualitative, right? Understand them and know how you place them is very important. It's really going to help you and broaden your knowledge. Understanding qualitative, quantitative. What do you understand by those aspect. Conclusively, because I am sure that a lot of you might just be remembering, but you watch a lot of movie for 2 hours and using. So let me do a recap and we conclude. What we have successfully done is advertising and PR research. We started by defining what public relation is, mutual relationship between an organization and its public, importance of research in public relations. We discussed that extensively. We also discussed research process in public relations. How do you go about the first stage? Define public relation problem, planning public relation programs, implementing public relation program, evaluating the program, and those are 4. And the next one are the types of public relation research. The types of public relation research: image survey, motivational research, trend analysis and environmental scanning, media research monitoring, individual public studies, research of a company, public relations and public relations of other companies, basic public relation, strategic research, effectiveness research. We have formative and evaluating research. Those are the types of research in public relations. And we delve into advertising. We define the concept of advertising as any sponsored communication that is identifiable by a sponsor, targeted at a particular audience and distributed via variety of mass media, intending of raising awareness about a product. And from there, according to Aris 2008, the basic steps in advertising research process: the first one, situation analysis and problem definition. That's for advert. How do you go about those process? Situation analysis. The second one, conducting informal research. The third one, establishing research objectives. We have another one, conducting formal research. And the fifth one, interpreting report. In public relation, we have the 4. In advertising, we have 5 processes. And we discussed the importance of research in advertising. And we highlighted to determine the buying habit of the target audience, to understand the market share, and also enrich your knowledge with research methods. That's everything you want to do in public relations. There is a way you should go about. There are methods that you can adopt. If you want to test, what do they feel about a particular brand, you can do a focus group discussion, put them in particular room, ask them questions. There are times that you can do interview, going on like a primary research, go on the field, go and meet them and ask them questions. And survey, you can give them questionnaires to fill. Content analysis, you can get what they are saying on social media to content analyze how they are responding to your messages on social media. Textual analysis, another method. And the last one is observational. And I emphasize that there's a need for you to understand, okay, we have focus group discussion to distinguished students. It's a great time, spending wonderful time with you. I hope you have learned, you have relearned, you have unlearned. I hope that you will continue to subscribe and stay tuned with Ibrahim Fatoyinbo. Discuss with Ibrahim Fatoyinbo. Share with all your colleagues, share with your friends in other institutions. I'm sure the sky will be the starting point. They said to start something 10 years ago is the best time to plant a tree. The second best time to plant a tree is now. So start reading now and add to your knowledge. God bless you and have a wonderful learning. Bye.